So, coming right up to date with YouTube. Now, for those of you who watch YouTube, why? It is nothing but a mind destroyer. And this is coming from someone who watches YouTube more than any other channel. Of an evening I'll get home and I'll go onto YouTube and I'll go through all my subscriptions, checking out what all my little independent journalists are telling me. I have all sorts of things on there. I have MSM, the mainstream media, I have the independent journalists, and then I've got documentaries, news channels, funny animals, all sorts of things. But of an evening when I get home, one of the main things I do is I go through all of the people I'm subscribed to tell me what they're saying, to see what they're saying. And then when they're telling me something really, really scary, like the world is going to come to an end tomorrow, I'm going to go on to Google and I'm going to Google what everybody else is saying about that subject. Or, you know, there might be a news article or one of the independent journalists saying, I've heard that toilet rolls are running out tomorrow, you must go and buy them. And, you know, so then I'll go and look it up and I'll check and I'll check and I'll recheck. So that stops me from being afraid. And this is what you absolutely have to do. You need to remember that people on YouTube, especially the independent ones, have their own agendas. They're looking for subscribers and they're looking to make it to stand out as much as possible, so they will have scary headlines, and then when they start chatting it's not really that scary. And there are others who will actually try and make it scary. You just can't believe anything anybody says. You need to go back to other channels and check out what other people are saying. And when several news items are the same, then go on to Google and check out what's really going on, what other people are saying, how it might affect you. You find out that most of the stuff isn't sort of 50 years down the line, quite honestly. Okay, so here's one. Let's take Ukraine, okay? When they got invaded, we all felt really, really sorry for them, and we took them in. And I live in Liverpool and I became an SIA guard, so I could go and guard duty when they came to do the Eurovision Song Contest, and I have the badge on my t-shirt. And I couldn't imagine living in a country where bombs are exploding. And that carried on. But then the other day I read something and I checked it out, and it's very true, that in the Lviv area of Ukraine, they are building a 1.2 billion ski resort, which is going to be ready, I think, this October, or part of it's going to be ready this October. So it brought reality back to me, because it said that, yeah, there is a war going on, but it isn't the end of the world for Ukraine and Ukrainian people. They are still carrying on their lives. So what you see is that the world, or the picture, can be made to whatever the agenda fits that person and what they want you to know. So going back to what's happening now in our world, you know, all this illegal immigration and stuff that's happening that we see on the streets, I need to say to everybody, just don't let it affect you, don't let it stop you going out and doing things with your life. A lot of stuff is gang related, so a lot of the stuff that you see with the machetes and that are gangs going after each other. They're not particularly going to come after you. In fact, the older you are, the more you're probably going to be left alone. So every time someone tells you a story on YouTube, there's an agenda. They're either there to just inform you, or to shock you, or to earn money, get subscribers. I have just turned round because someone was hanging about back there, so always a bit wary of people. That's the other thing. Always be aware of your surroundings. So it is put out there by YouTube to frighten, to meet the agenda of the person who's putting it out. Just always think of that. If it's something that's worrying you, look it up through other newspapers or news items or Google or whatever you search on, and find out more about what's worrying you and see what others are saying. So who do I watch? I like Western Journalist because his information he's got from somewhere and it's short and sweet. I like British Lander. He walks his dog in the field, spouts out what's affecting him, and that's always quite interesting. I follow up his information and go and search out more info on what he's telling me. I watch Dino Bane because he's humorous in his attack on whatever's affecting him, and I watch the Cultural Forum with Peter Whittle. I've done a little video with him, haven't I, about going back to church. And I like them because A, they hold meetings in the area that you can actually go to as a live person, you know, sit down and talk to these people, and B, they're my age, so theirs is about discussion more than trying to scare you. But still, at the end of the day, they want their subscribers, they have their agenda, they're trying to make money. And always remember that bit, because it's important that you don't get scared. It's the thing about media these days, it's out there all the time. And for us oldies, it's scary. For the younger generation, I don't know, talk to your children, find out, grandchildren, see what they think. I bet most of them just shrug their shoulders and say, yeah, you know, I've heard it, but not bothered. For us oldies, I don't think anything is going to seriously change for at least 20 years. And for the younger generation, as long as they're aware, they'll deal with it. Hopefully, if you're younger generation, you'll work at trying to make the changes and look after this country. It does worry me a bit, the changes that are happening. They're big and they're fast. But like I say, I think in the next 20 years we won't be affected by it. The younger generation, the younger lot of you, you need to read the news more. Maybe get into some communities. Just try and support your local community where you can. So, it's bank holiday weekend. And I've done a couple of videos for you, hope you enjoyed them. And I will catch up with you after. Well, it looks like I have to do something quite dodgy here to get back on the main road because it's closed off. So someone's cut a railing, so I'm going to get off here. So, 67-year-old sneaking through a yard thingy, can you imagine it? I'll put me thingy through first. Doing a run-up. That was funny. That was hysterical. Well, that's all going it. I do actually like walking the street, believe it or not. So just coming down to the Tesco's junction, so I will again catch up with you later. Ooh. They're in a hurry, Murray. See, don't tell me I don't give you something exciting every now and then.